Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Grugs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back once again, troops, legionnaires, and any new recruits. As always, really appreciate you all taking the time to check out my channel and my videos. In front of you today, we're going to be testing out the Eafengrow EF156, and I want to thank the reps at Eafengrow for understanding. I know it's been a while, but I've got some great weather, well, bearable weather, and I'm ready to test this blade out for everybody. What are you all carrying today? Well, I've got my Gia Brother frame lock right here in M390 steel titanium handles. Just did a review, go check it out. What are you all carrying today? Veterans, active military, as always, just want to say thank you very much for your service. Enjoy the video. Let's go over quick specs. Once again, this is the Eafengrow EF156 with an overall length of 11.2 inch, blade length 6 inch, blade steel AUS-10, blade hardness 59 to 61 HRC, blade thickness 6 millimeters, blade width 1.9 inch, handle length 5.2 inch, handle thickness 0.75 inch, handle material black G10. Knife weight is 13.2 ounce, and with the Kydex sheath is 17.5 ounce, and it does feature a full Tang lanyard hole, Kydex sheath, and a tech lock. Let's do a quick close-up of this bad boy. So, pretty nice looking blade. Non-traditional, absolutely. It's got a recurve. It's got this, this nice little belly up in the front. It is an interesting knife, to say the least, but I did use it. I got a chance to use it for a little bit, and it works pretty well. Full Tang goodness right there, some jimping, a decent sharpening choil, and could be used as a finger choil. I will be trying this with and without gloves. Little guard right over here, removable scales. I do like the contouring of the handle. It fits my hand very well. It could probably fit a little bit bigger hand, but if I do decide to hold this knife a couple of different ways, you might feel a little bit of a hot spot right here in this area, but not too bad. Let's just do the reverse real quick. The reverse feels real good, and this feels real good. I mean, if this is a knife that you like and you want to take it out into the field, well, we're going to test it out and see if it's, if it's worth it or not. But I have tested out Eafengrow's AUS-10, and it works pretty well. It does have a protruding tang. It's got a lanyard hole, and I did add that lanyard there. Like I said, I did use it. I oiled the blade a little bit to give it a better brand new look, but it is not new. I did use it. We're going to just chop something up real small over here, do some quick testing for field use, and we'll see how it works out. Now, I know for a fact it worked for me, but got to show the folks out there. Sheath, taco style sheath. As you can see, rivet holes. It has a tech lock for upright and scout carry. All right, very nice, very thick. It does not have the thumb ramp. Again, I would like this thumb ramp, but at least it has this little area where you could push off. So if we pop in the knife, all right, little rattle, but I think it might be the tech lock making the rattle. Okay, it's a pretty nice setup right here. Very adequate sheath, very, very high quality Kydex. I mean, this alone is worth $40, $50 if it was made here in the United States. And I think this whole package is about $60 to $80, and they might have some kind of discount, but very, very nice. All right, I'm done talking. If you want to see some more details, go check out my Legion Premier review on this, but it's time to put this knife to work. Okay, I'm excited. It's been a while since I've been able to get out here. Finally, some bearable weather. Just a small little log. We'll chop this up over here in this area, and then we'll process it even further. So let's get to it. So far, so good. I mean, the handle feels good. The lanyard is a little bit on the loose side. I don't have to really tighten it up, but you know, I got a good firm grip over here. That looks pretty good. I mean, you know, somebody said bad design, but that recurve seems to be doing the job. It might not be the most efficient knife, you know, because it's so non-traditional, but I don't know. That looks pretty good to me. Not sure what he meant by bad design, but so far so good. So let's keep going. And you can see I'm using the recurve to do most of the chopping over here. I'm even using this little area right over here to do the chopping. So far so good, right? Now I'm just taking my time because it's such a small piece of wood. Just again, a demonstration, troops, to see how the edge hold up. Does it bend? Does it roll? Does it chip while doing some outdoor work? Okay, that's the whole purpose of these tests. Okay, and since I love the outdoors and this is a realistic park that I come to and enjoy a fire sometimes, you know, do a little barbecuing, you know, this is an absolute perfect test environment. The blade is doing the job. I don't have to go hard. I mean, look, you could see how that recurve is just digging right in. So far, so good. Let me try this. That forward part of this blade, I want to use this part of the blade over here. You know, some people are saying that it's like a tracker. I personally don't think so. It doesn't have a quarter round. That's just my opinion. I just think it's a, you know, it's a fantasy blade that can be used outdoors. As you can see, so far so good. So still more efficient chopping by the recurve over here. However, the belly over here, or the front part, is doing a fine job. It might take a little bit longer to chop through though, but you know, this isn't really a, I don't know, man, in my opinion, it's not really an outdoor knife. I think it's a, you know, nice fighting knife. At least, you know, the way it feels to me, feels pretty good. Yeah, the AUS-10 is holding up so far, so let's keep going. I'm still using that front part of the blade. Go back to using that recurve. Okay, here we go. Just a small demonstration. I don't know, that edge looks pretty good to me. Let's do just a little bit of batoning. Okay, let's do some V-notch batoning. I want to get a nice piece for, let's say, feather stick. So let's see. I'm going to use the forward part over here with the belly. Whoops. Yeah, that looks pretty good, man. So far, so good. And it's taking out some nice chunks over here. Let me see if I could do the recurve area a little bit. Got the wood bouncing up and down over here. Now, as always, with this kind of abuse, the handle's always getting a little on the loose side. You know, I never think about putting on the Loctite right away. But, you know, it's good to know that it is possible that this can come loose. But you can see it's probably pretty easy to tighten. And I'll do that after I'm done over here. Okay, let's see. That looks pretty good. It did a nice job. Okay, so I'm just going to tighten the handles up a bit and we'll continue. Real quick before we move on, there you go. That's what I just did for V-notch batoning, and it did a fine job. Now let's do some vertical and horizontal batoning. Just a small demonstration, troops. I've done some vertical batoning with this knife before, and it worked out pretty well. So let's try this now. Split open, let's see. Okay, nice. That looks good. Let's keep going. Let's make quarters out of this. And you'll see I'll be going through a knot right there. Looks good. There's your quarters. Let's see if I can do it in the front over here. Okay, well that split it right in half, so that's awesome. Let me just pick those up so I can show you. Okay, nice. That looks real good. So I've got my quarters now. That's a good demonstration. Let me put this down and we'll do some horizontal batoning, and we'll make some feather sticks. Got a nice long piece right here. Perfect for feather sticks, okay? Let's utilize the whole blade. Oh, by the way, I am using gloves just to do a little demonstration with gloves. And as you can see, you know, the handle feels good. You know, this little tip right here, you know, is good. Gets it started. Again, it is non-traditional, not the most efficient, but I don't think it's a bad design. I mean, so far so good. Well, I mean, we're looking good here, so let's keep on going. Let's do this, the front part of the blade. Let's see real quick. Using that tip. Okay, some feather sticks right over here. Let me process this down a little bit further and then we'll make some feathers out of it. You could see I made some feather sticks over here. Now, it is a little wet. Everything's defrosting out here. This is one of the nicest days out of this, you know, frostbitten, godforsaken weather that I've been having. But I also have a nice dry piece over here to do a little bit of demonstration. But as you can see, I made some kindling. I processed this down to a nice you know, size feather sticks over here, and you know, this recurve, in my opinion, comes into play, you know, when you want to do some whittling. And I'm just taking off some of the bark right now. But again, I you know, this wood is wet, but just to show that it's still pretty sharp. Now, I know a lot of you have some concerns about sharpening such, you know, a weird edge. Look, man, you know, if you're going to own knives, you got to know how to sharpen. And, you know, if you're a knife enthusiast like I am, you're going to have to know how to sharpen this type of, you know, configuration. You just, you know, take your time and, you know, you get it done, man. And, you know, I'll show you how I'll maintain this at the end. But as you can see right here, okay, so far so good with the edge retention. All right. And it's making some nice curls. However, like I said, this is wet, to be fair. Let's just see the front part of the blade, because I did do some chopping with it. So we're looking good here. Okay, good. I am satisfied with this. Now, this is a pretty dry piece, okay? I actually used this knife to baton and quarter and make feather sticks of this real dry piece over here. So let me just take off the bark, show you. Definitely a drier piece, man. I kept it on the stumps, so it had plenty of time, you know, to dry out. But you can see again, I am making these nice fine curls over here. Now let me see if I can get a feather stick going with this drier piece of wood. You know, again, not the most efficient. I would, if I was going to take this outdoors, I'd definitely carry a saw and an axe with this one. This is not a one-tool option. However, you know, if you like this kind of design, you know, you can, it looks like you can do the job with it, you know? So the recurve is doing a fine job. I mean, you can see how nice. I mean, it's sharp, man. It's still sharp after that little bit of abuse, but again, it's a demonstration, you know, and it's doing the job, man. It's doing the job. Now, look, there's plenty of other Eafengrows out there, traditional, and will you know, do, and I will say it, a better job than this. But this isn't doing so bad, you know. I still think it's a pretty cool knife to have, man. You know, I like it myself. So, and I just like knowing that if I need to take it outdoors for whatever reason, okay, it's working out just fine, man. So far, so good. I just want to make a 10 steak. So let's see if I can just use the front part over here, which I already did. As you can see, the discoloration, I used it to cross baton over here. So trying not to let it fly off the stump. Perfect. All right, so let me just put that down. And okay, just a small demonstration. You could use your thumb over here to get a little bit finer work done with that little tip area. All right, you can see that's done. Let's use the recurve to make the notch. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, did the job. I mean, that looks pretty good, right? So now, let's dig in here and make that point. Okay, there you go. Okay, absolutely capable. Again, I'm just going to reiterate with this type of knife, because it's not traditional. Saw and an axe, you know, if you're so inclined to take this out into the field. But so far, so good, man. Did a good job. Now, I'm going to do some camp tasks and call it. All right, as usual, I've got some, you know, outdoor camping tools over here that maybe somebody might use camping. Twist ties, you know, different size paracord, thick and thin natural rope. And, you know, I want to try some scraping here. However, you know, the unfortunate thing of this knife is that, you know, everything is rounded off. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. So I'm hoping that the choil is going to do a little bit of justice, but we'll test it out. But first, let's do some of the camp tasks. Okay. Okay, that worked real well. And that cut real well in the front. I want to kind of show both possibilities of this knife, right? So in case this is wrapped around something tight, then you could just use that tip to pry and then cut. So, well, let's do this again, right? So just, again, a small demonstration here. After that bit of abuse. And paracord, right? Cut a little piece off and get this in the sunlight, right? Nice. And then I might have cut this too small, but let's see. Okay, easy. So that's good. I think that's 500. This is 1100. Let me cut a little bit bigger piece. All right. So using that tip, or this portion over here. And now, nice, okay? So that worked out well. And then I have thin and thick rope. Okay, so this is natural rope. Some people make fun of me that it's a dollar store rope, but I, challenge you to try and break this rope with your hands, all right? Since some of you, are wise asses. But once again, let me cut it, make sure it's in the sunlight. So that cut real easy. Nice. All right. Thicker rope. Let me cut it in the sunlight. Good. Good to go here. And with that recurve, nice. Look, man, this can do camp tasks. If you don't chop with it, if you just want to use it as a knife, it works. Recurve belly over here, it's working, okay? There's just no other way to say it. Again, not the most efficient design, still working. All right, so now let me just clean this up and we'll test out some fat wood and the scraping of the ferro rod to see how it works out. So as I mentioned before, man, it is pretty rounded off. Again, I don't think it was meant to be an outdoor knife. Pretty rounded off. And you could see that it's not doing anything at all. All right, let me see this part. The little swedge area. No, nothing. Not really. Not really. Now, let me just try this choil area. Now, you have to get an, it's a small choil, number one. And you have to get an angle, like a right angle, I guess, to get something. But this is just the bark. And get a little right angle of wood. Let's see. Very little. Very little. Very little. You'd be better off just making, fine curls. It might take you a little while, but you're better off doing this. Okay, now you ain't gonna be making no arrows, or, if you're a primitive hunter, you wanna make arrows and stuff like that. I doubt you'll be able to do that. Now, let's just see with that choil area, because there's no way. Yeah, no way. Absolutely no way. You're better off just, making these fine little curls here. It's just pressing on the jimping, and I'm like, maybe I could use the jimping. Well, let's try it, right? Because if it's a tool and you need it for some reason, nah, not really. Not even the jimping area. No, it's unfortunate, man. This is really I have to say it. I don't think it's made for the outdoors. I really don't. Can it do some of the tasks? Yeah, you obviously saw. But the only other thing I want to see now is, I know nothing like that's going to work. Nope. I just want to see if this choil, because it's kind of sharp, if it'll spark. No. Nope. Everything is just rounded off. Even the protruding tang, it's just rounded off. I'm not getting any spark over here. That choil is rounded off over here. It's a shame. It's too bad. But all is not lost, you know. Again, for those who have the courage to use a belt sander or a sharpening system, you know, to sharpen up the spine, you know, it's your money. You could do that if you have that courage. But you know, as far as scraping a ferro rod and, you know, scraping wood, it's a no-go with this one. Real quick, troops, I know there's a lot of people concerned about sharpening a knife like this, okay? So, you know, I want to show you what I like to do. First of all, I like to maintain my knife. So once I'm done, I usually wait a day or two, you know, to sharpen my knives. Don't ask me why. But, you know, first things first that I'll do is I will use that ceramic rod over here and just take my time going down that blade. And you could see it's doable. You just have to take your time at it and pick, you know, what you want done. All right? And then, you know, for the strop, it's easier with the strop. My point being is that, in my opinion, if you maintain your knife, then you don't have to break out, you know, the coarse diamond stone or the finer diamond stone, although you can still sharpen it. It just has to be a certain angle. You know what I mean? Now, I'm no expert sharpener. You know, I can sharpen my knives the way I like them. Okay, but I am no expert at this, okay? And that's pretty sharp right now. But, you know, again, it didn't go too dull. All right, you could see it didn't go too dull when I used it. I mean, it was still pretty sharp. All right, but you could see, you know, if you don't do major damage, all right, if you don't do major damage, if there's no major chips, this is all I do. And I just take my time, you know, with a blade like this. And now, if you want to do the front part of the blade, the belly part of the blade, that's like part 2 of the sharpening process. You know, sharpening takes a little time, in my opinion. At least this is my experience. You know, and then once I'm satisfied with the honing process, then I'll do some stropping here, put the compound on it. Okay, awkward design, still capable of doing the sharpening, all right? But my point is, if you're gonna own knives, outdoor knives, etc., I don't care if it's the superest of steels. Eventually, it will go dull. And you guys are gonna need to know how to sharpen these knives out in the field. You know, my suggestion is start off with a crappy knife. You know, even the work sharp people suggest it. Start off with a crappy kitchen knife. See how sharp you can get it. Get to understand how the feel of the angle, you know, when you're honing, sharpening, stropping, etc. It doesn't have to be your expensive knife. And I guarantee you, you will get your knives as sharp as you would like them, okay? That's it, troops. Let me finish up. There you have it, man. Awesome work with this knife. I love it. So It's just another awesome knife in my collection. I hope you all enjoyed this video. It did some work. Now again, listen, you know, to me, it's still like a self-defense type of knife, fighting knife. That's my opinion, man. If I'm gonna take this out into the woods, I'm definitely taking a saw and an axe, no doubt. And you know, and I could use this for, you know, a knife's task, cut meat, cut some rope, you know, cutting tasks. I don't have to chop. I don't have to make, you know, crazy things with it. I have an axe and a saw to help me out. So just keep that in mind. But troops, legionnaires, new recruits, I hope you enjoyed this. I had a blast. Finally, back outdoors, enjoying a little bit of comfortable weather. And I'm just ecstatic. So after I'm done with this, I'm going to be doing another video. Pretty happy about it, excited, so stay tuned for that. Let me bring awareness, everybody. Hashtag 22 a day, hashtag 22 a day no more. There are veterans and active military once they get out of the service. They do face a lot of challenges. Unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, pause on the slides at the end, call those phone numbers, and check out those websites, and read that heartfelt message from one of your own, Martin Miller, Vietnam veteran. He's been there, and he has gone through what you might be going through, and he has a heartfelt message. Please seek the help you all have earned and deserve. Troops, legionnaires, new recruits, thanks for watching. At the ready, troops, hold the line. Take care.
Legionnaires!